Good morning. There were two important functions in Vancouver last night. Prime Minister Trudeau's $125 a plate campaign dinner, predictable event, and a gathering of men and women to honor a man who, in his own mind, a living legend, but is in fact in his own time a living legend. And the whistle comes from the Bernie Smith, the man who made Vancouver's City Police Department and his tactics famous. How he kept his beat clean, the enemies he made, the friends he made. And we, his friends, 600 or 700 of us, gathered last night in Vancouver to pay tribute in the usual tongue-in-cheek fashion to the inimitable, irreplaceable, once-in-a-lifetime policeman of the city of Vancouver, Bernie Smith. And after the break, we're going to go to Bernie's roast. They were all there last night in the dogwood room at the PNE. Lawyers, judges, policemen, policewomen, friends, a few people with sharp memories, and of course reporters and broadcasters. And I led off the roast to do a little bit about my good friend Bernie Smith. Mr. Chairman, honored guests, and orangutans and others associated with the Vancouver Police Department. The object of the exercise just now is not to make you throw up your supper, but it's to carry on with the meal, because if I run into overtime, they'll knock another 100,000 off my miserable welfare-type money. What I want to do right now is try and get you awake or sober, whichever is applicable. This section will not be on tape because I control it. And I'm going to do a little thing to Bernie. But first of all, I want to tell you the first dirty story that Bernie ever told me. I came out from Scotland at 45, a chubby-cheeked little boy who'd been a few weeks in the real army. I meet Bernie, who was kicking a couple of drunks down the stairs in the old Balmoral Hotel, or in the lane behind, to be more precise. And he said to me, "Who are you?" And I said, "I'm the boy sent down to stand outside Mulligan's door, and everybody who comes out I interview, and I write stories for Hal Street of the Sun. Police brutality charge." Even if they were in complaining about a parking ticket, we always wrote the stories, "Police brutality charge." Or graft, corruption, mismanagement, and laxity. I believe you and me, there was more about it then. The stories of Bernie are endless. The very best one I want to slip in right now as you look around the hall was the time when a very clever defense lawyer had Bernie on the witness stand, and the accused was a man wearing a turban. To foil Bernie's identification, they put the turban gentleman with his colleagues in the back of the room, and then the lawyer said, "Identify the accused." And Bernie said, "Certainly, Your Honor. Would so-and-so sing, please stand up?" The man automatically stood up, and Bernie said, "There, Your Honor, is the accused." He was a man, I'll tell you, of considerable wit and wisdom. But we were serious last night, too. A roast is a roast is a roast. But right in the middle of the dinner, I talked to Bernie like this. "Bernie, I've had a very tough day. A very tough day. I've gone from the ridiculous to the sublime. This morning I interviewed the Prime Minister of the country. Here we are Thursday night, and I had to choose between the Trudeau dinner and the Bernie Smith dinner, and there was no doubt in my mind. I come to your dinner for a chance to have at you in the nicest possible way as a policeman who put me on the road as a young reporter in Vancouver, and I can never thank you enough."
Bless you, my friend. No doubt this was free, they had to pay, eh?
The other one was $125 bucks.
Right. I realize that, of course.
This was $15,
yes, right.
And I got in as a speaker for nothing.
Excellent. I'm certainly pleased, yes.
Bernie, do you want to tell the people what you did to me one afternoon which caused an international crisis, got me into a row with Lester Pearson, Don Cromie and Bruce Hutchison, And it was outside, and I had just been interviewing Gallardi, and I came down from my car, which was properly and legitimately parked, and what had you done?
Well, look, my friend, let's get one thing straight. If you break the law, you must suffer the consequences. Because I towed your car away, you've been crying for 25 bloody years, and it upsets me.
The car was not illegally parked.
It certainly was, and I'll be the judge of that.
Do you know what my offense was? You can't remember now because you're older than I am.
Oh, come on, I got it in my notebook at home.
The offense was that I had re-metered.
Right.
And you sat across the road in the courthouse.
And I watched you.
And you watched me re-metering.
Absolutely, right.
And because I had re-metered, you towed my car away.
10-4. I'd do it again tomorrow.
Well,
I know, you see. I'm right and you're wrong.
Bernie, you always were stubborn, but you were a great...
But I was always right.
Listen, you were a great guy. I've seen you in the middle of a crowd of orangutans, where if you had come on the tough Bernie, there'd have been a riot. And you were always able to produce that, you know, an ineffable charm. I'm not kidding you.
Well, thank you very much.
And turn them away. What was the secret, and I'm really quite serious, of your success in defusing trouble? You were a little bit rough on people when they needed it.
Look, I can tell you the secret. While I was going through university, I was going through for a BSc. When I got as far as the BS, I quit.
That's a good crack.
Yeah, and philosophy, loving people, is the key to the whole thing.
Well, yes, you love
right.
people.
Right.
Mind you, you love...
Any guy that can love you can love anybody.
Listen, some of the times you loved them just a little heftily.
Well, I realize that, of course.
For instance, you might well say, sir, you seem to be cluttering up my beat.
Get off my beat. But don't forget, my friend, my responsibility is to protect the community from certain people, and even certain people from themselves.
You did a good job of it, too.
Thank you very much.
But, you know, I wish myself, being an old reactionary like you are, who believes in the direct approach, I'm kind of sorry that your technique is now, should I say not acceptable, or regarded as old-fashioned?
I would agree that it's not acceptable because, you know, our society expects policemen to do certain things, and they won't really back them up if they do it.
How would you like to start again today? Now, I want you to open your heart to me. I know you've got a boy on the force who loves it, and it's a great career.
Fine young man.
Larry, sitting over there.
Fine young man, right.
Would you like to start again under the new rules of policing?
Okay, I really would. If I started at the same age as I did when I started in the first place. Because, you know, I think that as the force, as grew, I think I changed with it. Yeah. And I think that while I was accused of doing all sorts of strange things, I did the things that were necessary at the time and at the location. And I think the community accepted it. Yeah. And I think the same thing would apply today.
You were in many a famous brouhaha, Bernie.
Say that again, please.
You were in many a famous brouhaha.
That's a 10-4, I agree, lad.
Weren't you?
Right.
Were you ever seriously hurt?
No, a broken cheekbone, a broken leg, and a couple of acres here and there, but that's life.
I was down in Gastown the other day, and I got to tell you, they still miss you.
Oh, well, actually, you're talking about the time when our late friend Jack Washman and you and I were sitting upstairs having a couple of libations, and I got into a fight with several of our, dusky friends, and I ended up in the garbage can. I'm going to miss that, you know.
You missed it.
I'm going to miss it.
I think your friends protected you on publication of that.
Oh, everybody protected me.
Bernie, what are you going to be doing?
I'm going to work for Caban Enterprises, a security firm. We supply total security.
On behalf of all your friends in the media, and all your friends here, I want to say, how old are you now?
56.
Just a
young
boy.
Man, just a baby.
Nothing but the best, and we'll see you around.
Thank you very much, my friend.
Thank you.
Bless you. Right.
It was a very sincere tribute by all kinds of people to Bernie Smith last night. And I don't know if it was Sam Andrews. That was the reason for my gesture. At the beginning, Sam's a very big, fit fellow. Sam Andrews and Les Bewley and Nick Salem, Monty McFarlane, Mackay of the famous Mackay and Smith Why Do They Do It team, Bert Cannings, good old Bert Cannings of WX and CFCF Montreal, who was there last night in spades, but somebody said it. Every police department in the world needs a Bernie Smith at least once in 100 years. Best of luck, Bernie, from all your friends.